My friend Luke,
Hi.
taxi driver. Who do you work for?
I work for Transit.
Transit, okay. And I am AJ. You guys have heard me, you've seen me, 613 Solar. Follow me on Twitter, X. I'm sharing my life story. And this is not about me, guys. So I'm gonna share with you what happened with me, Luke, right? So where did you pick me up from?
Courthouse.
Courthouse, City Hall. Exactly. So I just got my audio recording, CD audio recording, as I mentioned to you guys. I have a case before the Supreme Court of Justice right now. So the story was very simple. Last year, November 17, 2023, I was simply walking the way that Mr. Luke saw me, but I was topless. So the exact same hoodie actually, except I was topless. So you can see I wear nothing underneath. Sometimes it gets hot or it's cold, whatever the case may, I can, take it off. Anyway, so I'm about my thing and, I'm going and I get to my destination. This is not going to be revealed, but I'm at my destination. I got my proof, my documents, because remember, the law is very clear. You are innocent until proven guilty. So here I am at a building, trying to access the building because my ID, my keys are downstairs in the garage that I keep my car at. Unfortunately, I don't speak French, and there's a commotion in the front entrance, the foyer, so to speak. That's okay. There's a foyer, and then the police shows up after some times because yes, I did go inside the building, I did go inside a house, but there's something only if you are a person of belief will understand and reason that you cannot open someone else's property, right? If you have a smartphone and you have biometrics, you can only use your finger, right? Fingerprints to open that. But anyways, that's something else I'm going to speak about later. But the idea is this: I get pulled, I basically apprehended, assaulted, arrested by the police. They take me to the, police station on Gerber. Is it Gerber Avenue?
Gerber, yeah.
Yeah, Gerber Avenue. So he's a taxi driver, confirming this. He knows the city. Obviously, he is born and raised.
Yeah, born and raised here.
And Ghana?
Yes.
And Ghana. So, but you speak French and English?
Yes.
Francophone, because Canada, we have two official languages, English, primary, and secondary as French. So that's known. That's common knowledge, correct? So far, so good.
So far, so good.
So now, understand this. Now, when I went to my courthouse, I was there late. This is why I'm requesting the audio recording, because, they can fabricate evidence against you. And this is what I have, belief system. Because remember, you have to always bring your argument to the court. And I'm asserting simply my natural rights and freedom, which are safeguarded by the Constitution Act, which is 1982. Remember, the Constitution is not, what guarantees those rights. It's called inalienable for a reason. If you do not believe in God, that is science for you, pseudoscience, inalienable. But they are God-given if you believe in God. Luke, who do you trust? Who do you trust, Luke? Your name is Luke.
My name is Luke.
Who do you trust? Do you trust who? Do you trust your family or your government? Who do you trust?
I trust my family.
Beside your family, because we're all mortals. We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Right? So, if you're alone in a cell, I've done nothing wrong. If you've done nothing wrong, and you cannot access phone to call your family and be listened to and treated like a human being, you're beaten up. Your constitutional rights. Remember, this is not about faith. It's about constitutional right that you understand as a Canadian citizen that your sovereignty is your own, because your bodily autonomy is your own. You are simply transferring sovereignty to the state, or in this case, the government of Canada, and lieu for what? Protection. So we go and we vote. That's democracy for you, democratic system. So we go elect government officials. Yeah. The problem is this: there is the foundation of government. To have any relationship with the government is a trust. But if you don't trust the government, and that's why I ask, who do you trust? Who do you trust? I mean, you live life. You're driving me to my destination. I'm going to see my friend to have dinner or lunch or whatever you want to call it. But essentially, we are talking because I'm not forcing you to listen to me, correct?
Yeah.
Do you like the conversation so far?
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, you're making sense.
Am I crazy to you?
No.
So, remember guys, when someone's trying to discredit you, LinkedIn banned me. I went from 400 connections since 2009. In June, I started my account. It was a pro tip because, you go to university, I finished aerospace electronics, aerospace design. And I worked for startups most of my life, so I can wear multiple hats. Every day I have a different hat. One day I'm the executive, one day I'm the accountant, one day I'm the, you name it. You name it. And this is life. Life is buy and sell. Mr. Luke here is an entrepreneur himself. He works and he, drives a car. That's nothing wrong with that. We need engineers, we need the drivers, we need the taxi operator. We need all sort of people in this society. That's what makes a society, the fabric of the society. We need people of different skill sets. We all are all gifted. The problem is this: the pseudoscience wants you to just be good at one thing. Tunnel vision, you gotta go to have PhD. But life is simple. Look, me and Luke can have a barbecue right now. What do we need for barbecue? Just filet mignon, right?
Filet mignon and a barbecue.
Some coal, yes. Do we need gas? We don't have to have gas. We can just, some trees, chop some, dead branches, right?
Yeah.
Fire, and you have the best filet mignon. Now let me ask you something, my friend. You're an intelligent man. You can reason. You're speaking with me English, layman terms, because we are laymen. Free men are laymen, correct? So now let me ask you something. You ever barbecue?
Yeah.
So Mr. Luke barbecues. Now let me ask you something. What is the temperature today right now? Like right now, as we drive, like what's the temperature? Just for the record.
18.
18 degrees. Well, you know, feels like that's what they tell you. It feels like 100 degrees. We're gonna die. Armageddon. Climageddon. Okay, so it's 18 degrees. Now let me ask you something. How cold does it get in Ottawa Gatineau area in the winter? Like January time frame, let's just say.
Could go to minus 30, minus 40 sometime.
Very seldom minus 40, but that's with the wind chill, you know. But
Yeah.
really, minus 25, minus 30 is, you know, not uncommon. This is minus 50 would be considered a mild spring day for us.
Yeah.
You see people with t-shirts here in Canada, right? Minus 50, these people with t-shirt. But here's the question to you, Luke, Mr. Luke. This is the idea. I want people to start thinking before they answer. And remember, Luke does not have a PhD in physics. He's just a layman like me. We're talking about barbecue, for fuck's sake, man, barbecue. So if you have that one filet mignon, we marinate the filet mignon, and you know what? We are going to barbecue the filet mignon at this temperature, 18 degrees. You start with a barbecue and a bag of charcoal and a lighter and a stopwatch, right?
Yeah.
Now the question is this: what would take more time and coal, so to speak, or energy, if you will? Because when you burn coal, you get energy, and that's the energy needed to cook your filet mignon. You are the chef. Remember, I am not the chef. You're the chef. You cook the chef. All things equal. The only variable is what? The temperature. So we are cooking at plus 18 degrees right now.
Yeah.
Versus we can go to a chamber. We can pay for a chamber experiment where it's held at minus 18 degrees. Because if you store meat, you must keep it at your freezer at minus 18 degrees. Those who operate a meat shop, right? Now, the question is this to you, very simple. Here's a question. What would take more time and energy? Cooking the filet mignon at this temperature, 18 degrees, or at minus 20 degrees?
More energy at minus and the minus.
There we go, layman. Common sense. He tells you it takes less energy to cook inside at room temperature 18 degrees versus outside. Fucking common sense. But you've got the government of Canada and their stooges, complicit stooges of the gas-fired heat pump. So you have a natural gas furnace in your basement, correct? Yes. How much is your nominal temperature in the basement? 15 degrees, correct? Nominal.
Normal.
Like right now, nominal. That's why people love the basement. In the winter, it's cold, damn it. And the summer, it's cool. So we love the basement.
Yeah.
Nominal is 15 degrees. That's just Earth. That's just Earth. Now, if you want to heat your space at home, how much do you set your thermostat at? 23, 24, 25, 19, 18?
Around 20.
Oh my God, that's like, he's only raising temperature of his house by 5 degrees. He likes it cool. My friend, you need someone to keep you warm. I'm sure he has someone to keep him warm.
Around that.
Beautiful. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's beautiful. So now, so remember, we only went from 15 degrees say to 25, 10 degrees max, right? And then we could have taken the high actually, but that's fine. He wants to charge me more. No worries. Okay, so Mr. Luke, now if we go from minus 25 degrees, right? Minus 25 degrees to the same temperature at 25 degrees, how much delta temperature that is? 50 degrees, correct?
Yeah.
So essentially the same natural gas furnace that was once in your home basement, 15 degrees, burning natural gas, right? That's how you generate heat. You need to burn gas, so you're generating heat. But suddenly now we're gonna move that same furnace, we're gonna move it outside, we're gonna call it gas-fired air absorption heat pump. What is it called? Gas-fired absorption heat pump. You're still using natural gas, but now you're not heating air, you're heating water. In fact, you're heating ammonia, ammonia, because water freezes at 0 degrees, so you must mix it with glycol propylene. So it's like antifreeze, so to speak. Now, the density of that is larger than that of the water, of air, sorry, right? So it takes more energy to heat 1 kilogram of water versus 1 kilogram of air. That's called specific heat, correct?
Correct.
In fact, it takes 4.2 kilojoules to heat 1 kilogram of water 1 degrees, whereas it takes 1 kilojoule roughly to heat the same 1 kilogram of air 1 degree. So you have 4x. Now, instead of heating your air inside your home at one quantity, you know, from 15 degrees to 25 degrees, now you're gonna go outside, burn the same flame now, but now burn and heat ammonia water at roughly 3.75x, because pure water is 4.2, ammonia is 3.75 when you mix it with water. And that's, my friend, you don't need a PhD to understand the damn fucking cycle of scam. So you have a layman, Mr. Luke, telling you that it's much efficient to barbecue at room temperature or this weather versus minus 18. Ah, you don't believe us? Experiment, man. Life is experimentation. Peace.